Hello and welcome to the Full On Football Podcast. Myself, Ben, and Harry. How you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, very good, mate. So,
Yeah, fantastic. Tell you what, mate, quick one for you. I'm in the Tudor Tandoori last night. I like to get down to
yeah,
Tudor Tandoori. I don't know if you heard of it, little Indian restaurant in Stonehouse. And innovation. Innovation is what I want to talk about. They do a dish called tikka fries. Basically, mate, it's like they marinate the fries in like tikka marinade. And
yeah,
really tasty, chopped up bits of chicken tikka and topped with cheese. Absolutely exceptional stuff. Speaking to the guy in there that owns the restaurant, and he was talking about the podcast, which is good. We got on to talking about football, and he's talking about the podcast, and it's good that it has actually extended to the Stonehouse Tudor Tandoori in terms of the
yeah,
audience.
brilliant.
And we're in there, and he's talking about driving. I don't know how it got onto this, and he said about like when you're learning to drive. And the whole concept of learning to drive is about having space, like give yourself as much space as possible. He said people don't get it. But if you called it the Scholes law, as in Paul Scholes, he thinks people would get it because Paul Scholes was always in space. What do you think of that?
Yeah, sure, man. I never thought that. Honestly, never crossed my mind. But yeah, I take his point. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
very,
obviously
very off, very off center idea.
well, absolutely. I
welcome
mean,
it.
we're talking about the podcast, talking about a bit of football, Man United, and all of that, and then he just says about the Scholes law, and I thought, you know what, this boy is an innovator. He is. He's an
Get
innovator.
him
You look
on.
at the tikka
Maybe get him
fries.
on.
Just a shout out for them. If you do like your food, check it out because it's really good. To be fair, their tikka
Yeah,
fries.
they do the loaded lamb bread as well, which again is innovation. My girlfriend, she loves it. She thinks it's, the best thing. You know, massive naan bread filled with all sorts, cheese, vegetables. Well, we have a vegetable one because she's a vegetarian, but all sorts of tikka chicken, lamb. It's just unbelievable. And it's about £6, and it feels like, it's enough for two people. Innovation. The guy's clearly got ideas. He's clearly an ideas man.
He's got ideas and we've got ideas. And that's why on tonight's show, despite the fact England have had 3 internationals this week, we're not going to be looking at England. We're going to be deciding between us a current Premier League 11. Right now, when we look at the Premier League, albeit it's the start of the season, it's 3 games in, with the players in the Premier League, the fact that Premier League's getting top players such as Ronaldo, Varane in their primes, who would be in a current Premier League 11? We're basing our selection criteria not just on what they've achieved in the Premier League, sort of on like a last sort of 3-year period, if you will. So, Harry, I'm putting it to you straight off. What is your Premier League 11? You've had time to think about it. Give me the shape, give me the side.
Right. So my Premier League 11, I would go 4-3-3 as a standard template. Most teams play 4-3-3. I like 4-3-3. Gets a lot of the best players in the right position. There's no different, no slightly off-piece ideas. It's very basic. Your 4-3-3, most top teams play it. So in goal, Alisson. Back 4, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Harry Maguire, Andy Robertson. Midfield 3 of N'Golo Kante, Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, with a front 3 of Mohamed Salah, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Jack Grealish. That is my team.
It's top side. It is a top side. There's a few in there that I've gone differently. I do respect what you've gone with there. I think you'll like what I've gone with too. So I've got a 4-3-3, similar reasons to yourself. It's kind of the template in this day and age, to be honest. But that wasn't why I went with 4-3-3. I'll come to that in a sec. So I've got Alisson in goal. It's one that we've agreed on, albeit there are other good goalkeepers that nearly got in. Alexander-Arnold right back. I was kind of between him and Kyle Walker, I think. I've gone Varane. I know that he's not played a Premier League game yet, but I think based on his career the last 3 years, I think he is one of the best 2 centre-backs in the league. Van Dijk, Robertson. Fabinho holding midfield as opposed to N'Golo Kante for yourself. De Bruyne and Fernandes were agreed in midfield. Salah, right wing. You can't ignore goals. Salah scores. Ronaldo, striker. You just got to, haven't you? And Heung-min Son, left wing. I just think underrated. What a player Heung-min Son actually is and the goals that he gets. So based on that, if my maths is correct, I think we've agreed on 8 selections.
Yeah, 8 of the 11, I think we're in agreement on. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good start, isn't it?
It is, mate. It is. It means the show's going to be considerably shorter than it could have been. You know?
Yeah,
So I've
absolutely.
had my mate sent me his team, and Joe sent me his team the other week, and I had about one agreement, I think, across the board. So that would have made a much more confrontational show, I think. But
Yeah,
yeah, nonetheless, we do converge on the same sort of ideas.
absolutely. So goalkeeper, both gone Alisson. Any reasons why? Other than
For
he's the
me,
best
mate,
goalkeeper in the league. I don't want to just say that.
yeah, no. The reason I go for him, I think, I thought last season he was Liverpool's best player. Liverpool struggled over the course of the season. I thought he saved them on numerous occasions. I don't really see a weakness in his game. I In one-on-one situations, he's probably one of the best I've seen actually in one-on-one situations, which I think is probably the hardest. One of the most difficult parts of goalkeeping. He comes out and catches the ball as well as anyone I've ever seen. Like comes out for crosses and collects it. Find that demoralising as a team if you've ever played against a tall goalkeeper. He comes out to sort of anywhere up to the penalty spot really and catches the ball. Very brave. He holds on to the ball. We've seen with Jordan Pickford doesn't always perhaps keep hold of the ball. Might make a good save, but Alisson often catches the ball, which I think is such a given in goalkeeping, but not many players are that good at it. And I just think over a course of a 3-year period, it's probably what I'm judging most things on, really. I try to judge things over a sustained period, and Alisson has just been Mr. Reliable, despite the fact that he played behind a very dodgy back four for most of last season.
And on top of that, he even scores goals. Couldn't leave him out the side. Trent Alexander-Arnold right back. Interesting one, wasn't it? I was thinking, looking at the balance on my side, I don't know about you, and I was thinking perhaps there was an argument for a little bit more of defensive solidity at the right back position to allow De Bruyne to get forward a bit more. But I feel like, because I've got Fabinho holding mid, I can get Alexander-Arnold in. What was your thoughts there?
Just quickly, mate, anyone run Alisson close, or for you, is he far and away?
Ederson, I think. I think Ederson.
Yeah.
There are some good goalkeepers in the Premier League, but no, I went with Alisson.
Okay, cool. No, that's fine. No, I agree. I just didn't know if there was anyone that you were sort of and I in between, if it was a toss-up or very much Alisson, full stop, he's the keeper.
Probably between the two.
For Trent, mate, doesn't it come down to the fact, though, despite, I take your point, Kyle Walker in my team is unlucky to miss out. He's England's first-choice right-back. Ultimately, he is. And I think if Trent's fit, he is still first-choice right-back, which says a lot. But is Trent right-back just because he is just the best right-back? And for a period, I said, he's the best right-back I'd seen for a year. So does it just come down to, I don't really care if he is not as good defensively as the likes of a Kyle Walker. He is just a better player, full stop. And that's why you're getting him in.
Better footballer. I think he's very, very, very good footballer. So, yeah, can't argue with that. I've gone Varane. You've gone Maguire. So, reason I've gone Varane, I think, obviously, look, we're not going to go into it too much. Serial winner, 4 Champions Leagues, is it Real Madrid? Really quick. I think him and Van Dijk would be, same as him and Maguire at Man United, I think that would be a really complementary partnership. But I think that would be because he's quick, good in the air, leader, all of those things, albeit he hasn't played a Premier League minute. But I had to go Rafael Varane. I know you've gone Maguire, but you're a United fan. Tell me why.
To be honest, mate, it's probably just gone on a bit of emotion because, if I'm being brutally honest, I've sang Varane's praises for about 7 or 8 years now. I think he is an absolute superstar. I think he is better than Maguire. To be honest, I think probably I've just gone on a bit of emotion after the Euros. I thought Maguire was probably the best defender of the Euros. Really, I do. I think he was that good over that. And obviously, it's only over 4 or 5 games, so a bit silly. But I don't think there's an awful lot in it. Probably, I'm happy to sort of go with you on that. I do think Varane's better. I don't know. I felt like I had to get Maguire in. It's just one of them, really.
So Varane it is then based on that. Van Dijk, I think not a lot to say about him, is there? He's just the best defender in the world. He's come back seamlessly from injury, hasn't he? So slots straight in. Ruben Diaz left out.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz, very unlucky to be left out on current form. Over the course of 12 months, he'd probably be in there. Obviously, Van Dijk didn't play, so that makes it difficult for him to get in. Varane's new to the league. I think on the course of a 12-month period, Ruben Diaz unlucky, but ultimately I've only seen him do it for a year. Obviously, he's played in Portugal before that. I don't know. You're very big on tried and tested, players can have a freak season. I don't think he will drop off a cliff. I think he
No.
is a very good defender and will continue to be very good. But yeah, a year not enough.
My thoughts exactly. That's why he's not in. If he does what he did last year, this year he's in basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just 1 year. I can't pick him just on that. Albeit he was excellent. I can't knock it. But Varane, Van Dijk, unlucky. You're on the bench, son.
Yeah.
Left back Robertson. Talk about Robertson to me because I think for me, obviously Liverpool fan, bit of bias, but I think Luke Shaw was the best left back in the league last season. But again, same thinking as Ruben Diaz. I just feel like that was one season. Robertson was still probably in the top 3 fullbacks last season, despite not being as good as Shaw probably, but he wasn't a worse side. And 2 seasons before that, I think he was by some distance the best left back in the league. So I just think over the 3-year period, he's quite comfortably in. But on the last 12 months, I think Luke Shaw.
Yeah, I think that you bang on. It's the same. You see it in lots of ways. On current form, Ruben Diaz is, at a better season than, for argument's sake, Harry Maguire had a better season than Rafael Varane probably. Varane struggled at Real Madrid. Maguire was very good for United in England. Doesn't make him a better player. Same situation with Robertson and Shaw. Shaw had a fantastic season. He was the best left back in the league last year. I still think Robertson's better. Give it a year down the line, if Shaw keeps up this form and is the best left back again, it's closer. But yeah, Robertson, I think, is just outstanding. He's just outstanding. He started the season. I know he's been a bit injury prone, but he ain't got a weakness to his game. He must be horrible to play against as a winger.
Bit of a pest, isn't he? Seems like it.
Well, that's it. He's just relentless, and he's very I don't think you'd like him. He's one of them players that I just think you. Not only would you dislike playing against him, you probably hate him as a person, just the way he is. He's so. You say he's a pest. He's shouting at you. He's trying to put you off. He's sneaky. He gets back in just at the last minute and just gets his toe in and stuff. He's one of them. You can't seem to shake him off. He's that sort of guy.
I love him. What a player. So, holding midfield. We've gone different in the holding midfield. I'm going to put it on record. I think Kante is a better player than Fabinho. I think if I was listing if you put a gun to my head, Kante's a better player. I'd rather have Kante. If blank sheet of paper, which one would I pick first? I'd pick Kante. The reason I've gone Fabinho, I think it's a bit of a myth. I've said this to you before. Kante's not really a holding midfielder. He doesn't hold a position. He's not positionally disciplined. I feel like if you play a midfield 3, you're actually clipping his wings a little bit. I actually feel like he's better in a 2. I think you look at Leicester, played 4-4-2. You're looking at Chelsea at the moment, 3-4-3. And back when Kante was manager and they won the league, 3-4-3. 2 centre midfielders seems to be the common theme there. And I feel like Kante is at his best when he's almost playing. So most teams play 3 in midfield, and it's almost 2 against 3 in midfield. And he has the superpower of doing 2 men's jobs. He can win a 2v3. Basically. And when you're playing him as a holding midfielder, and I think his best things is energy, he gets around the pitch, he's making tackles far up the pitch in their penalty box, and he's tracking back. He's doing a lot. Bit of a ball chaser, a bit of a dog in some aspects, right? You're clipping his wings by asking him just to positionally hold the holding midfield role. So that is why I've gone for Fabinho. I've gone for it for positional discipline as opposed to ability. Albeit Fabinho is very good. I'm not trying. Don't hear the wrong thing there.
Yeah, I can't add any more to that. That's a great explanation. You're absolutely spot on. And I agree with you. I would have gone for Fabinho. Basically, mate, with this team, I was trying to find a balance between just picking the best players and not being and getting some sort of balance. Now, Fabinho would be a better option for that holding midfielder. I was just trying to get in inverted commas, the best players, the best individuals, not worrying too much about balance. Obviously, I didn't want to pick a midfield of Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, because I know that would just be a bit silly.
That's
so I tried to get some sort of But you're right, absolutely spot on. Kante isn't as natural a holding midfielder as Fabinho. I don't think he sees danger in the same way.
No.
But obviously, in terms of just ability and everything, he is better. And that's why I've gone with him. But I'd be happy to go with Fabinho. I just think Kante is a better player.
Do you know what?
I want him in there.
I was going to say I'd be happy to go Kante because Kante was in my side originally. What are we going with? Who's giving in?
Kante it is. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
go Kante. Go Kante because I think he deserves to be in anyway. I think that's fair enough. So De Bruyne gone right of the three in midfield. So, what can we say about De Bruyne? Running out of superlatives for him, ain't you?
Best player in the league?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Albeit Ronaldo comes in and perhaps has something to say about that, but I think Kevin De Bruyne is probably best player in the league.
Pound for pound, him and Van Dijk are the two best players in their position. I think Kevin De Bruyne and Van Dijk, pound for pound. Obviously, Ronaldo is, but a lot of people might say he's not the best number 9 in the world anymore, and we'll go into that. So, pound for pound, I think Kevin De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the world, and that's why he simply has to be in there. Right? Like you said, you can't say any more superlatives. He is just a freak. His passing is incredible. His work rate, his attitude, his consistency. I always feel like he's on another planet to every player that he ever plays against. I never feel like anyone outperforms him ever in a single game. I never look at another midfielder outperforming him. I think he's just exceptional. And he was probably the first name on the team sheet, really.
Yeah, same for me. So Bruno Fernandes, both agreed on that. I just think basically goals, effectiveness. I feel like you put him in as a centre midfielder. He rarely plays centre midfield. He almost plays second striker. He goes so far forward positionally. And that was a lot of the thinking with putting Fabinho in. I think he'll vacate the midfield a lot. And I need somebody because De Bruyne is going to get forward as well. But Fernandes, it was at a point, he's just been so effective, so good. What was it, 4 player of the month last year out of 9? You can't leave that out. Scored 20 odd goals as well.
He's just super effective, isn't he? He's just super effective. I watch him a lot and he frustrates the life out of me. He tries passes that aren't on. He gives the ball away consistently. I see there was a game last season I've alluded to it before. We played Southampton and he gave the ball away 20 times before half time. And I think we won the game 3-2. He set up 2 and scored 1. And it was like, a lot of people would have think, get him off. And he ends up turning the game on its head. He's just super effective. The numbers he gets, his attitude, his work rate, like you say, he's a second striker. I expect him to get 15 goals this season. Yeah. 15 league goals. I expect that year on year, which in modern times, midfielders don't, do they? We spoke about the death of the number 10.
Yeah. So even though Ronaldo's going to take penalties, you expect that?
Yeah, I do, mate. I do. Obviously, he's played 3 games. He scored 3 already. I know it was a hat-trick on the opening day. I do. I expect him to have sort of 10, 11 before Christmas, and I think he could get. I do think I'm not saying he will. He could get as many as 20. I do believe that. But yeah, for me, you can't leave Bruno out. He's just scores too many goals.
Same theme with Mo Salah for me. Mo Salah, very frustrating, but so effective. Scores too many goals. How can I leave him out? There was only really one name on that right wing position for me. There were 2 players that were in the 11, no matter what formation, 4-4-2, 3-4-3, 4-4-3, it didn't matter. De Bruyne and Van Dijk were always in it, right? Ronaldo, that might sound ridiculous because you likes of Ronaldo or Kane, but you can't pick them both if there's only one striker. Same with, Fernandes. Can I get him in a midfield balance? There were question marks there. Salah, if there was a front 3, if we were playing with a front 3, he was the 3rd pick. You got those 2 that were in no matter what. Salah was the 3rd pick for me. There is nobody else I was considering if I was playing with front 3 for a right wing spot. I don't know about you.
No, I think you're right, mate. In terms of right wingers, there's obviously a lot of talented right wingers out there, but no one that's done what Mo Salah's done. Obviously, Jadon Sancho's come into Man United after a difficult Euros. I know he's been playing in Germany. His numbers have obviously been very good in Germany. That's well documented, but you can't talk about him in the same light as a Mo Salah. And other than Jadon Sancho, you've got Ziyech at Chelsea hasn't really played that much. In Manchester City, Riyad Mahrez is perhaps a good shape, but again, he doesn't even play every week. He probably only starts 2 out of 4 games or 2 out of 5. So there wasn't really any competition for Salah. And on the back of the fact he scores 20 goals every season without fail, no-brainer.
Absolute no-brainer. But what wasn't a no-brainer was the striker. We've both gone Ronaldo, and I don't think Harry Kane's going to be very happy with us.
No, I don't think he is.
I just think I don't know. Like I said, De Bruyne and Van Dijk were in. Doesn't matter. Formations are relevant. They were in. If I played a front 3, Salah was in. Ronaldo and Kane, I'd probably. Well, De Bruyne's in the best three players in the world. I think that's factually accurate. Ronaldo may well still be. Van Dijk may well still be. What I would say is all three of them are in the top five. All three of them are in the top five. Ronaldo simply had to be in. And Harry Kane is probably, sixth best player in the world? Seventh? He's right on the cusp. And in terms of best players in the league, probably third or fourth, Harry Kane. And yet he's not made the 11. I mean, it's exceptional. I don't know how he's not made the 11, but he gave me a real headache. I nearly went to up front to get Kane and Ronaldo in because he has to. Kane has to be in, doesn't he? Really? But it's just a point of, if I put Kane down and not Ronaldo, I've just left out one of the best five players in the world. You can't do that.
I know. It's incredible. If we had this conversation 2 weeks ago, we do the same show, same idea.
Before Ronaldo.
It's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Harry Kane number 9. Not even a question. No one gets remotely close. Harry Kane is the number 9 top goal scorer last season. He'll be up there again this year. But, like you said, Man United have just signed the greatest goal scorer ever, arguably. You know, the freak of nature, 700, 800 odd of goals. And
Serie A top scorer.
Serie A top goal scorer last season by a mile, despite playing in a poor Juventus team. And, you know, despite the fact that Gabriel Bonhor, Talis were wrong, and Harry Kane should be, you know, if you want a man for a big occasion, it's Harry Kane, not Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he's absolutely, you couldn't be more wrong. And Ronaldo is the greatest, and we just have to get him in. Sorry, Harry, but we have to get him in.
Has to be in. Unbelievable, isn't it? And top scorer at Euros as well. So don't tell me he's passed it. 36, top scorer in Serie A last season. Hard league to score goals. Outscored Lukaku. Lukaku, favourite for the Premier League Golden Boot. Yet scored less goals than Ronaldo in a better side last year. Took me through it. Top scorer at Euros. Has to be in. Might even still be with the exposure. 3 months' time, might be the best player in the league. Sounds ridiculous, but it could be true. Left wing, last position. I've gone Son, like I said. I just think 15 goals a season, a lot of assists, a lot of energy, very skillful, never lets you down, really underrated player, one of the best players in the league. I'd go as far to say now, Mane had a poor season last year. And, you know, the season before last, I think Mane was probably slightly ahead of him. But Son just hasn't dropped off. And right now, I think Son's a better player than Mane. And yeah, Son takes it for me. I know you've put Jack Grealish in. My hesitation there is the numbers, ultimately. I know that's a bit cutthroat, and I don't like to put it all on stats. Jack Grealish is probably more pleasing on the eye, but just Son's just effective. And he's still very good on the ball. He's still very skillful.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, mate. I just like Grealish. I just really like Grealish. I really wanted to get him in. But in terms of Mr. Reliable is human Son. Stands up to be counted consistently, never shirks anything, scores big goals in big games. He'll get more goals than Jack Grealish. He'll probably set up more goals than Jack Grealish over a 38-game season playing in the same position. And Son also adds pace, whereas Jack Grealish adds creativity in a team that we probably don't need creativity. With your likes of De Bruyne, your likes of Fernandes, your likes of Trent, you probably don't need anyone to create things. You probably need someone on the end of stuff and a bit of movement ahead of him. So I take your point. I just like Grealish. So that's what it comes down to. I just really like Grealish. He's so easy on the eye. I feel like he runs games in the sense that he's like when he was in Villa, he was very much Kevin De Bruyne's. He was the Aston Villa Kevin De Bruyne. In fact, that everything went through him, and that's why I want to get him in. But I'd be happy to go with that. Go with your shout with Son, because he is just Mr. Reliable and probably is the best left winger in the league. So, yeah.
As well as the fact, you know, commercial branding wise, bringing South Korea into our project here of building the best Premier League 11. What a fan base we're bringing in.
You know what? You're absolutely I didn't even think of that. On the should we get Wes Morgan in to get the West Indian influence as well? You know,
Absolutely.
That is,
but no, Son's idolised.
we're trying to sell this. We're trying to sell this brand globally, and if that's what we need to do, that's the sort of.
Forget Ronaldo selling shirts. It's all about Son. Honestly, it is. You see how idolised he is out there. He's like Sachin Tendulkar in India. It's ridiculous. But I think there we've got an awesome side. I don't know about you. Just to go through it quickly, obviously, Alisson in goal, Alexander Arnold right back. The centre backs are Varane and Van Dijk. Robertson left back. We've got Kante holding midfield. De Bruyne, Fernandes, Salah, Ronaldo, and Son. Is there a weakness?
Not enough goals. Not enough goals.
Spot on. All right, mate. Great team selection. I'm pleased with that. I hope you're pleased too. And thanks for joining me. Guys, if you're listening, make sure you let us know your current Premier League 11. Who have we missed out? Who should be in? Harry Kane, if you want to get in touch, come on the show and address us and tell us why you should be in the team. We'll have a talk about that. Anyway, cheers for joining me, mate, and take care.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Cheers, guys.